Hi students, good evening. Hope I'm audible. Are you guys able to hear me? If you guys are able to hear me, can you guys please drop a text in the chat box saying that I'm audible? Very good, superb. Thank you. Okay, guys. Fine then. Okay, people. So listen here. So before we start this session, let's have some ground rules over here. See, first thing that I want you guys to understand is this entire session is just for our betterment. Okay, so we are going to learn a lot of new things. We'll get to know a lot of stuffs. Okay, we are going to do a lot of those things in this particular webinar. But I want something from you guys in return. I want your participation. Okay, so no matter what my question is, even if it's very simple, very hard, okay, it doesn't matter. Just give me your answers. Even if the answer is sir, I don't know, no problem. Just give me your answer. Okay, let's make it as interactive as possible. Clear, people? Fine, super. Are you guys ready? Shall we start the session now? Are you guys ready? Super. Very good. Very good. And guys, listen here. Every chat, every message that you guys drop in the chat box, it will only be visible to me. No one else can see that. So you don't have to have this fear of what if others get to see that and all that stuff. So just forget about all the stuffs. Just talk to me freely. Let's have a better understanding about each other so that it will be beneficial for both of us. Okay, very good. So first, let's have a better understanding about ourselves. First, just tell me, guys, what do you guys currently do? Are you guys in your current final years? Or what is it that you guys do currently? Are you guys currently in your final years, or have you completed your graduation? What are you guys currently doing? Come on, guys. The final year, superb. What about others? So far, I've got hardly 2 to 3 replies. We have got around 13. Superb. BTech third year. That's the right time to start. Superb. Very good. BTech third year again. Awesome. Still, I'm expecting a lot of other replies also. Fast. Guys, what did I tell you in the starting? I need this session to be as interactive as possible. And I've already told you, no one else is going to see what is it that you have messaged. So you don't have to have that fear at all. BTech fourth year, BTech fourth year. Very good. Superb. So it seems like most of you guys are from your final years of BTech. Good. Superb. Fine then. See, let me just tell you guys a brief thing. So the reason why I'm asking you guys all these questions is just for me to understand what is the level of the crowd that I'm targeting. See, only if we understand what is it that you guys are doing currently, we can uh, customize the webinar or design the webinar based on your needs. Okay, so if I have a lot of people who have already given their CAT exams and they're reattempting it and all that stuff, so they expect something else. Whereas I assume most of you guys are first time CAT takers. Hope I'm not wrong. Is there anyone who has already given the CAT exam here? First time. Cool, no problem. Super, super. Okay, so guys, listen here. First, let's understand what this particular webinar is all about. In this entire webinar, we are going to discuss your CAT 2022. Okay, and out of that CAT 22, we are going to focus more about how to prepare your QA, your quantitative aptitude section out of your CAT. Okay, so we all know CAT stands for Common Admission Test. And if you're wondering as to why CAT and all that stuff, so let's give you guys a brief intro as to what this CAT is all about. Okay, and then we'll discuss more in detail about that. First of all, if you are planning to do your MBA, that is Masters in your Business Administration, okay, so this is probably the best time to start. The reason why I suggest this is, see, listen carefully. If you are planning for an MBA, the institute that you guys do your MBA in matters more, because the MBA degree is as good as the institute that we are doing it from. It's not just about that. At the end of the day, all we are looking at is a better salary package. Yes or no, isn't it? Obviously. So hands down, we all need a better salary package. And where do I get that? Doing my MBA in the best colleges. Definitely true. And talking about B schools, we have got hundreds of B schools in India. We've got hundreds of B schools in India. Now, out of that, what are the top ones? Say, for example, your IIMs, Indian Institute of Managements, and recently we have got rankings. If you guys are aware of that, we have got rankings for best B schools, best top 5 B schools, top 5 engineering colleges, pan India. We have got rankings for top 5 pharmacy companies, pharmacy colleges, medical colleges, and all that stuff. And out of that, if you look at the MBA, the top 5 B schools, if you look at the top 5 B schools, we have got IIMs. IIM Ahmedabad stands first, as always. Ahmedabad is the first. And is there anyone who has an idea as to what the other 4 could have been? Any idea, people? The other top B schools in India? Very good, superb. Definitely, yes, true. Very good. Hariharan, Surya Kumar. Definitely, yes. See, your ABC stands the first third. Your IIM Bangalore, IIM Calcutta, and the next comes your Kozhikode, Delhi. Okay, according to your NIRF rankings. I don't know how many figures know about this. We have got the recent rankings, National Institutional Ranking Framework. So we call this as NIRF. Okay, National Institutional Ranking Framework. They have recently released the top universities, okay, in their official website, and out of which we get to see, if you're looking at the management colleges or the B schools, these are the top 5. And if you're wondering as to what is the reason these are the top 5, there are a lot of factors which are taken into account. The educational qualities provided, the facilities provided, the package of the students, placements, everything is put in place. And just a quick question, let's see how many of you guys know this. Do you guys know what is the average salary package in Ahmedabad? What is the average salary package there? Any guesses as to what could be the average salary package there? Around 20 to 25. You got it right. Superb. It's around 25 LP. It's 25 lakhs per annum. Okay, and the highest is somewhere around 57 or something. But still, see, let's look at the average salary package. It is 25 lakhs per annum. The same goes for your top these schools. And when you're looking at the other young IIMs, when you look at the other young IIMs, it ranges somewhere around 15 or 10 to 15, I could say, lakhs per annum. So that's the average salary package there. And that's why people aspire to go there. And how do I get into these schools like these? What should I do? Definitely. Everyone has this particular doubt. Correct? Done. Now, when you're talking about these schools, first thing that I want you guys to understand is there are thousands of these schools, out of which the top ones, they range from the government institutions like your IIMs, and you've also got the other ones like Xavier Schools of Management and lots of other colleges. And to get into those, we have got multiple exams like your CAT, ZAT, SNAP, and exams like these. And when you look at all these exams, entrance exams to get into your B schools, your CAT, the Common Admission Test, CAT, is called as the mother of all these entrance exams. It's called as mother of all these entrance exams. And if you're wondering why is that so, the reason is very simple. See, this CAT exam is widely accepted in a lot of business schools. It's widely accepted in a lot of business schools. And here's the interesting fact: not just in India, even in the world, there are few other colleges in the world, not in India, they still accept your CAT. For example, your Singapore and Management University, the one in Singapore, okay, even that recognizes your CAT score for their admission. So that's the importance of your CAT. So CAT, without a doubt, is definitely the mother of all of your B school entrance exams. And if you're wondering, so who's it, which organization is it that conducts this CAT examination? See, the CAT examination is conducted by the top 6 IIMs in a rotational basis. The currently in 2021, this exam is conducted by IIM Ahmedabad, and it is going to be in 158 cities pan India and 400 centers in them. So that's how the CAT exams are going to be conducted this year. And if you are wondering what the eligibility is, let's discuss the eligibility rather than me telling you guys what the eligibility for this particular exam is. Let's discuss the eligibility. What is the age limit for this particular exam, guys? What is the age limit here? Any idea? So I think 40 is the age limit. Okay, so let me just break it down for you guys. First of all, when you talk about the eligibility, be it any graduation degree, you are eligible for writing this particular exam. Any graduation degree, but the graduation degree should have had at least 3 years time period. Be it arts and science or your engineering, it should have been for a period of minimum of 3 years. If you're from a BTech or BE background, then you don't have to worry about that at all. So any degree, you are eligible from a recognized university or an institute, obviously. And there is no age limit. There is no age limit. But there are other criteria, obviously. What are the other criteria? Let's say, for example, if you're from a general or non-reserved category, to put it in other words, yes. So you're supposed to have a 50%, minimum 50% score or an aggregate equivalent CGPA in your academics. Whereas for the reserved category, when you talk about the reserved category, the percentage, it should be at least 45% score. So that's definitely an eligibility criteria. And as I've told you, the duration of the graduation program that you have been a part of should be at least for 3 years. So if you're from the BE or the BTech background, you don't have to worry about that at all. And obviously, the final year students, you can also apply for the CAT 2021, provided you complete the program within the schedule. So these are the eligibilities which you're supposed to be aware of. And now that we have discussed enough about what this particular exam is and what it does and all that stuff, let's discuss about the exam's pattern. This is where things get interesting actually. The reason why I tell you why the reason things get interesting is, as of 2019, the CAT pattern was completely different. Whereas when you talk about 2019's pattern, the total number of questions that we had was 100 questions. Okay, and the time limit was 180 minutes, which means the exam happened for 3 hours. And the section-wise questions, BARC and your data interpretation and logical reasoning, which we call it as DILR, quantitative aptitude, QA. This BARC is nothing but your verbal ability and reading comprehension put together. So these are the number of questions that were expected in each and every section. And out of that, the non-MCQs, if you look at the non-MCQs, what do you mean by non-MCQs, which we call it as, otherwise we can call that as TITA. See, you're supposed to fill in the blanks. It's not an MCQ, it's your fill in the blanks. Just remember it like that. So out of 34 questions in your VARC, 7 were non-MCQ questions where you're supposed to fill the answers on your own. No choice given. Same thing. Out of the 32 questions from your data interpretation logical reasoning, we had somewhere around 8 questions which were non-MCQs. And same way, out of the 34 from quantitative, 11 questions were non-MCQs. And the marking scheme, it has always been the same. 3 marks for every correct answer and -1 mark for every wrong answer. And there was no negative marking for non-MCQs. For these questions, no negative marking. It's the fill in the blanks questions, just for our understanding. Yes, for those questions, there were not any negative marking. But for the MCQs, if you have handled it wrongly, you've got 1 negative mark. Whereas in 2020, we had a drastic change. And the change was actually because of the COVID. They, I'm sorry, they actually shortened the test. They shortened the test very well. And the test was for 120 minutes. It was just for 120 minutes. And the total questions was 76. Instead of 100, it was just 76. And the section wise, VRC took 26 questions, DLR took 24, QA took 26. And if you're talking about the non-MCQs out of this 76, we had altogether 16 questions. Out of the 76, we had 16 non-MCQs. So 5 from VRC, 5 from logical reasoning, and 6 from quantitative ability. And the marking schemes have always been the same. There was no change in them. So this is how the pattern was in 2020. And if you're looking at 2021, it's again going to be the same, just like how it was in your CAT 2020. So this is how your pattern is going to be, again, even for this year. And if you're focusing on CAT 2022, we should actually wait a bit more. I'm sorry. Sir, in non-MCQ, total comes 16. Yeah, that's what I told. Oh, I'm sorry. There should be a mistake somewhere. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, sorry, sir. There should be a typing mistake here. I'm sorry about that. It was 16. Yes. And guys, listen here. If you're talking about the VRC, the verbal ability and the reading comprehension, let's talk about the syllabus of it. If you're talking about the syllabus out of it, I have split this into 2 types. one as of 2019, and one for your 2020. How was it? And all that stuff. And out of the 34 questions earlier, 24 were from your reading comprehension and just 10 questions from your verbal ability, the remaining parts. Whereas in your CAT 2020, out of the 26 questions that we had, 18 were from reading comprehension and 8 was from your verbal ability. And these are the topics that we had to focus on. Okay, done then. I'll just discuss in brief about the syllabuses of all the sections. And same way, now that we have seen the verbal ability part, we'll move on to your DILR. What is DILR? Data interpretation and your logical reasoning. This is your next section. As of 2019, we had 32 questions out of it. And out of those 32, 16 were from DI and 16 was from logical reasoning. Whereas in 2020, the number of questions were shortened to 24 questions. So we had around 24 questions only. And out of that 24, 12 were from DI and 12 questions was from logical reasoning. And we had all the questions. We had questions from your caslets, tables, bar graph columns, everything. So those are the questions types that we can expect from your DI. And the other reasoning part, seating arrangements, binary logics, blood relations, Venn diagrams. So all these stuff, we'll discuss them. Done then. And now, moving on to our important section for the day is your quantitative aptitude. See, as far as quantitative aptitude is concerned, the questions or the syllabus for all sections have remained the same. But when you talk about the questions, number of questions, it was 34 earlier, whereas now it's just 26. It has been shortened. And now, if you look at the topics, so there are a lot of topics in it. So what I've done is, in this particular section, I'll briefly explain it to you guys how you can categorize them into 5 sections and how you can give equal importance to each and every section. So that's what we're going to do. So in down the line, I'll explain to you guys in detail about how we can focus on your quantitative aptitude part and what are the strategies that you can use to fill in this plan. Okay. Now, talking about the other, say for example, your verbal ability part, there are 3 sections. One is your reading comprehension, the para-jumble based questions, and your paragraph summary based questions. And the one thing that if you guys look carefully, when it comes to your CAT, where do these passages come from? Where do they take these passages? That is one thing that you should think about. When it comes to the source of passages, where is it that they took these passages? Okay, most of them, we had sources, some from history, philosophy, science and technology, one of the most important ones. We were able to see that in multiple slots. Okay, and then psychology, religion, political science. These were the topics from which we were able to see the passages. And now, if you're talking about data interpretation and logical reasoning, now, as I've already told you, see, data interpretation is one such part where people always tend to have this particular fear. Sir, what if the questions are difficult and all that stuff? But listen, if you're clear with your basics, if you have done your work as per schedule correctly, then you have nothing to fear. So data interpretation is one such part which I always wonder, why is it that the students find it very hard? If you have done the right preparation, DA and LR, it's very easy. You can definitely score a very good score here. So your when it comes to your DI, as I've told you, you've got bar graphs, you've got pie charts, you've got line graphs. So all these things. Same way, when you're talking about the other part, apart from the DI, we have got logical reasoning. And I would have told you, even we would have seen the topics also. We have got questions from analytical reasoning, arrangements-based questions, games and tournaments, one of the important ones, and you have got questions from your set theory. These are the important topics for your logical reasoning. And now, coming to your topic for the day, your quantitative ability or quantitative aptitude, as we call it. When it comes to your quantitative ability, I would have already shown you the list of topics from which you can expect the questions from your quantitative aptitude. But what I would generally do is, I would generally categorize this entire topics into 5 parts. One is your arithmetic, second is your algebra, third is your geometry, number system, and your modern math. So these are the 5 sections from which you can expect questions. So if you are good in these 5, then you don't have to worry about the quantitative aptitude at all. And now if you are wondering, sir, what do you mean by arithmetic? What are the topics from arithmetic? This is what we are going to discuss right now. Okay, so listen people, when it comes to arithmetic, we have got questions from your time, speed and distance, time and work, percentages, profit and loss, simple interest, compound interest, ratio proportions and averages. So these are the important arithmetic concepts from which you can expect your questions, out of which what I would suggest is, see, your percentages, your ratio proportions, no matter whichever exam that you guys are going to attend, no matter whether it's CAT, XAT, SNAP, or be it any exam, not just for your B school entrance exam, be it any exam, you definitely have questions from your percentages, ratio proportions, numbers. These are pretty basics. Because there are a lot of concepts from your other arithmetics. Say, for example, when you take your time, speed, and distance, there are certain cases where you're supposed to have a good knowledge about how ratios work. So if you had a good knowledge about ratios, then your TSD could be simpler for you. So that is the reason why I call this as the basics and the most predominantly asked concepts. What are those? Your ratio proportions, your percentages, and also your number systems. We have that as a separate section here. So, or else I have added it in a separate section. So number systems, it doesn't actually come into your arithmetic, but still, yes, those 3 are your basics. You are supposed to focus a lot in your percentages and your ratio proportions if you are a beginner, because that's the part which stands to be the basics for not just your arithmetic part in your quantitative ability. Even when you look at the concepts of your DILR, your concepts from your data interpretation, your percentages stands to be the basics there. If you have a good knowledge in your percentages, then we can do wonders there. So that's something that you're supposed to keep in your mind. Your percentages have a very big importance. And talking about your algebra, see, again, this is one more section where people tend to have this fear. So what do I do? There are a lot of algebra parts. I'm not good in algebra. See, you don't have to worry much. Algebra is simple. Once you know what are the things that you're supposed to plan, and if you make up a schedule for that, you can definitely crack this algebra. Because when you take time, speed, and distance, time and work, I've seen a lot of students. What they do is, sir, give me arithmetics, I am good at it. But algebra, without even trying, they'll be like, sir, algebra is tough. They haven't even seen the questions. Just when they hear the word algebra, they are like, they have this fear in their mind. Sir, algebra is tough. No, algebra is not tough. That's something that you have to understand very, very clearly. Unless and otherwise you guys have a proper schedule and plan, prepare accordingly, each and every topic is going to be tough. It's not that your number system questions can be answered straight away. No, it has a set of preparations that you have to undergo. The preparations are the key. So now when you talk about the algebra, you've got questions from linear equations, quadratic equations, logarithms. Yes, they are important. Sequence and series, APGP, and also your functions based questions. So these are the topics that you can expect questions from your algebra. And now talking about the number systems, the one that I've told you is very important, no matter whichever exam that you guys opt for. Your number systems, when you talk about number systems, what are the questions that we can expect from your number systems? So you can have questions from your LCM, HCF, factors based questions, factorials based questions, properties of odd numbers, even numbers, prime numbers. So all these concepts. So these are the important ones that you should focus on. And now we'll move on to the next one, your geometry. Again, geometry, you have questions from your triangles, the properties of triangles, circles, quadrilaterals and polygons, similarities and congruencies and mensuration. These are the concepts or the topics which you can which you're supposed to focus on in your geometry section. And again, see, when you talk about your mensuration, or not just your mensuration, be it anything, your basics stands the most important. See, when you talk about mensuration also, when you've got mensuration 2D or your 3D, your formulas play the basic key. You should be very, very clear as to what the formulas are. And you just don't have to memorize them. There are a few cases where you have got to memorize them. Yes, I understand. But also you should have an understanding as to how these formulas have come into picture. So once you have a better understanding about how these formulas have been derived, and once you're able to figure that out, your mensuration is very, very simple. Super. And now, talking about your modern math, your concepts of permutation, combination, probability, very important ones, and also your set theory. So these are the 5 sections that are very, very important for your quantitative ability. And now, if you are wondering, sir, this is my first time preparation, and if you're talking about quantitative ability, what do I do? Where should I start with? First thing is you should have a very good mental math. So first step is to develop your mental math. And how do I develop my mental math? So these are the things that you're supposed to focus on first. Be very good with your tables, at least till 20 table, 20 bottom. Okay, so you'd be very, very good at it. And then know your squares, at least till 30 squares, you're supposed to remember that. You should remember the values at least till 30 square, 30, and then your cubes at least till 15. And then you should have a good understanding about your prime numbers and odd numbers concepts. So these are your basics. This is where you should start. And I could understand, like, sir, what is it that you mean? Like, how do I remember these square values? How do I remember these cube values? I could hear you guys say that. Now listen, so that's what we are going to start off with. So to start off, I'm going to ask you guys a few questions. How many of you guys here know the value of 15 square? What is 15 square? Can you guys tell me the value of 15 square? Again, as I've told you, I'm not going to point out your name if you have made a mistake, and no one else is going to know. Super. Yes, most of you guys have given me the correct answer. It's 225. Now, what is the value of 35 square? Superb, Surya Kumar, Hariharan, Vani Priya. Awesome. Very good. Very good. Yes. See, there is a small trick for you guys to understand or to calculate any number square which ends in 5. If a number square ends with 5, it is very, very easy to find out the square of a number. What am I supposed to do? Instead of this 5, write 25. And then take the remaining number, add 1 to it, and then multiply those two numbers. Same way, for example, instead of this 5, you can straight away write 25. The next number of 3 is 4. So 3 fours are 12. Same way, can you guys tell me what is the value of 65 square now? What is the value of 65 square? Very good, Hariharan. Superb. Others, please check your answers. Very good, Ashwant, Chandramouli. Superb. Yes. See, the logic again remains the same. 5 becomes 25. 6, and the next number is 7. 7, 6 are 42. So it's 4225. As simple as that. Let's do a final recall. What is 55 square? Superb, Hariharan. Udaya, good. Very good, Shiny. Yashwant, very good, guys. Superb. Yes. So what's my answer here? The 5 square becomes 25. The 5, the next number is 6. 5, 6 are 30. So my answer is 3025. So that's how you calculate the squares of numbers that end in 5. Okay. Now, what is the value of 30 square? What is the value of 30 square, people? Obvious. Simple. It was 900. Whereas, what is the value of 31 square? What is the value of 31 square? Very good, Ashwant. Superb. Good job. Very good, Hariharan. Superb, superb. Now listen, and I'm going to teach you guys one more small trick over here. See, this trick might help you in a lot of cases. Once you know the previous number square, to solve this number square, it's going to be very, very simple. It's going to be very simple here. What are we supposed to do? Let's say, for example, we have got 30 squares value, and I need to find a 31 square. Just add these two numbers. What is 30 plus 31? 61. Add 61 to this previous number square, you've got the answer. 900 plus 61. So it is 961. That's all. Now tell me, what would be the value of 41 square? I want you guys to tell me the value of 41 square. Very good, Bani Priya, Ashwant, Shiny. Very good, Surya Kumar. See guys, listen. What did I tell you? If you know the previous number square, it's quite simple. What are we supposed to do? Add these two numbers. When you add these two numbers, you get 81. Add 81 to this, you get 1681. Simple. But remember, this method is applicable only when you know the previous number square. And if you're wondering, sir, what am I supposed to do if I have, if they're asking me to find out 49 square? I don't know 48 square. Do we know 48 square? We might not know. What am I supposed to do now? So does this trick doesn't work there? If you think, see, if you are very practical in your thinking, you can actually use this method in a different way for this particular question. Yes, we don't know the value of 48 square. That's true. We don't know. But do we know the next number square? Yes, we obviously do know that. 50 square is 2500. So there should be some value for 49 square. And when I add the sum of these two numbers, what is the sum of these two numbers? 49 and 50. When I add them, I get 99. So upon adding 99, I get 2500. So what should have been the value here? What should have been the value here? Very good, Pasam. Yes, 2500 minus 99. What's the answer? Very good, Chandramauli. It's 2401. This is what I'm talking about. When you take any of your concepts for your cat, not just for your cat, be it in general aptitude, when it comes to your quantitative ability, first we should understand the basics. If you take this concept as a topic from which questions can be asked, so we have seen the basics. What was the basics? If you know the previous number square, it is easy. There is a step. and using that step we can find out this number square. But that's not the only thing that you're supposed to remember. What if it doesn't work? What am I supposed to do in other cases? You're supposed to think about all these stuffs. So that's what is going to play a very vital role in your preparation. Yeah, people. So these are certain few tricks which might help you in your calculation part. And now I'll also give you guys few more tricks to find out the squares. Let's say, for example, if you're finding out the squares of any number in the range 40 to 60, not just that, you can also find out numbers bit more than this range or bit less than this range also. But still, remember, just by remembering these two numbers, we can find out the squares of any number within this range, 40 to 60, in a matter of seconds. In a matter of seconds, you can find that out. Now listen, let's say, for example, I'm supposed to find out the value of 42 square. Let's say I'm supposed to find out the value of 42 square. Now compared to 50, this value, it is less by 8. It is as 8 less than 50. I'm supposed to find out the value of 42 square. So the 42 is 8 less than 50. Correct. What is 25 minus 8? Come on, people, tell me what is 25 minus 8? Yes. So you've got to write 17. What is 8 square? 64. So my answer is 1764. That's all. As simple as that. I guess you're able to understand this trick. But there are a few things which are supposed to be very, very careful over here. Let's say, for example, let's take 54. This is 4 more than 50. Sure, buddy. I'll repeat it. Okay, let's take a different number. Say, for example, I'm supposed to find out the square of 54. It is 4 more than 50. So I can write plus 4. This is your first base value. Compared to this base value, this is 4 more than the given value. So 4 more. Now, what is 25 plus 4? It's 29. You can write 29 here. What is 4 square? It is 16. Write 16 here. So my answer is 2916. Hope you guys are clear. If you guys have any doubts, you guys can ask me. Don't hesitate. Clear. Yes, superb. But again, there are a few things which you're supposed to remember. Listen carefully. Just like, let's say, for example, if I take a number 57, what would be the square of 57 square? What would be the value of 57 square? Just give me your answers, please. Superb, Chandramouli. Yes, Yashwant, we can definitely do that. That is what I'm going to teach you right now. Sir, can we use this for higher numbers also? Yes, but I'll teach you how to do that. Yes, don't worry. Okay. Few of you have done mistakes. Actually, only one have done mistake. No problem. So listen, others. When it comes to this question, first, when I compare it with 50, it is greater. So it is plus 7 compared to 50, it is plus 7. So what is 25 plus 7? It should be 32. Don't subtract here. If it is plus 7, add 7 to it. If it is minus 7 compared to 15, subtract 7 from it. So that's how it works. You don't have to subtract every single time. It depends upon whether this is greater than or less than that. Yeah, super buddy. Now 7 square, it's 49. And now to answer your question, Yashwant, listen carefully. You can use this particular trick for numbers not within this range also. But one thing that you have to be very, very, very clear is there should be two numbers in this section. In the right side part, there should be two numbers. Not greater than 2, not less than 2. There should be two numbers. And if you're wondering, sir, definitely it's going to be two numbers. Why should I worry about that? Now, here's my question. Let's say 52 square. When I compare it with 50, I get plus 2. So that's fine. Going as per the logic that we have seen so far, the methods here that we have seen so far. So we'll add 25 plus 2. It would become 27. Sounds perfect. Cool. What is 2 square? It's 4. But I need 2 digits. What do I do then? What do I do? I'll write that as 0, 4. I need 2 digits, so I should write that as 2 digits. That's all. Clear, people? And for those who ask me a question, sir, can we use the same logic for a bigger number? Let's say, for example, I take 62, which is not there in this region, but still, let's see how this works. If I were to compare this number with 50, what will be the deviation that I'll write here? Come on, guys, tell me. Obviously, it is going to be plus 12. Yes, definitely yes. So what is 25 plus 12? I'll write that as 37. Correct? Yes. What is 12 square? Very good. Yes. Super guys. It's 144. But what have I told you? There should be only 2 digits. What do I do then? Right? 44. Add 1 to the other side. So my answer becomes 3844. Very good, Shiny. Super. That's all. You've got the answer. It is 3844. Clear with this trick, people? Super. Awesome. And now, same way, let's say, for example, we have a bigger number. Let's say we'll take 72. You can still do that in the same method. If I do that in the same method, what would I get? It's 25, 50. If I compare it with this one, I get plus 22. Correct? So what is 25 plus 22? Yes. So I'll write 47 here. What is 22 square? It's 484. That's why I told you, you should remember the square values at least till 30. Okay, 22 square is 484. So you'll write 84 and then add 4 to it. So my answer is 5184. So this is one way of solving it. Or else, remember, you can also solve this question in a different way. We obviously remember this formula for a plus b the whole square, don't we? What is the formula for a plus b the whole square? It is a square b square plus 2ab, isn't it? We definitely remember this formula because this is something which we have been taught right from our school days, primary schools. The time we entered the 5th to 6th standard, we would have definitely got used to this formula. This is one of the first ever formulas that we were asked to memorize. Yes, true. So you can use the same formula to find out any number square. Remember, the last digit is your B, the remaining digit is your A. And you should write it in this format: A square, B square, leave a space, write 2AB, and then add it, you've got your answer. For example, let's take the same question, 72. First write B square. What is B square? 2 square, which is 04. What is A square? 7 square, which is 49. Now, let's find out 2AB. AB is 14. 2AB, it would be 28. So write 28, leaving a space. Now add the numbers. You've got 4, 8, 1 carried, and get 5184. Clear with this method, people? And guys, if you have doubts, you guys can ask me. Don't worry. Please don't hesitate. Let me give you guys a different question. Let's see how many of you guys are able to solve that. Say, for example, 86 square. Can you guys find out the value of 86 square? Come on, fast. Very good, Chandramouli. Superb. Sure, Shani. We'll discuss that too. Don't worry. Very good. Superb. So what did I tell you? Yes. We split this into two, A, B, and B, such that the last digit is your B, and the digits before that is your A. So first write B square. 6 square becomes 36. A square becomes 64. AB, which is 48, because 6 8 are 48, and then double it, 2AB, so it is 96. Leave a space and write it, and then add them. You've got your answer. And Shiny here is asking me, sir, can we use this logic for 3-digit numbers? Let's take an example, 123. But remember, your last digit alone is your B, and the previous digits put together is your A. You can again use the same logic. What is B square? 09. What is A square? 12 square, 144. AB is 36. So 2AB is 72. And then add them, you've got your answer. What is the final answer that we get? Very good, Shiny. Superb. It's 15129. Superb. Sir, can you repeat it again? Which one? The 3-digit part or the entire part? Yeah, buddy. Which part do you want me to repeat? The 3-digit one. Superb. No problem. Listen here. Always remember your last digit alone is going to be your B part. The remaining digits are going to be your A part. Write B square. So B square is 09. A square, 12 square is 144. Leave a space and write 2AB. Because AB, I know 12 threes are 36. So 2AB should be 36 into 2, which is 72. And then add them, you've got your answer. So this is the key. Clear now? Super. Very good. And guys, listen carefully here. When I told you guys about the mental math, I also told you guys you can expect questions from your prime numbers. You can expect questions from your prime numbers. Now, I'm going to ask you guys one such question. But before getting into that question, first, tell me what is a prime number? What is a prime number? Numbers which are not divisible by 2. So can I say 15 is a prime number then? Very good. Its factors are 1 in itself alone and it doesn't have any other factors. So 15 is not a prime number. Yes, super. So you guys have a better understanding about what the prime numbers are. Say for example, what are the prime numbers within the range 1 to 10? What are the prime numbers between 1 to 10? Superb, Yashwant. Very good. So it is 2, 3, 5, 7. What are the prime numbers from 10 to 20? Yes, it's 11, 13, 17, and your 19. Very good. What about 20 to 30? Is 27 a prime number? Very good. Many have given me the correct answer now. Very good. It's 23 and 29. Super. Now, here is one such question based on your prime numbers. Let's see how many of you guys can get it. The question is, how many prime numbers are there between 40 and 60? Can you guys give me the answer for this one? How many prime numbers are there between 40 and 60? Some have given me the answer as 7. I've got 8 prime numbers, 5 prime numbers. That's so. Think carefully. Others, very good. Vani Priya has given me the correct answer. And Chandramouli, superb. Very good. Hariharan and Surya Kumar. Very good. So people, listen here. There is a small trick. If you guys remember this trick, we can answer predominantly all of the questions that can be asked from these type of prime numbers concepts. For example, you should remember this. See, Doordarshan, DD, and then your BBC channel, BBC, and then your degree, BA degree. So if you are able to remember this, then we can answer almost all the questions that you get from your prime numbers. So DD, your Doordarshan, your BBC, and then your BA. And if you're wondering, sir, what is that? What does this mean? See, the ultimate reason why we are doing it is to remember these numbers. See, D is the 4th letter in the alphabet, B is the 2nd letter, C is the 3rd letter. Yes, superb. So if you remember this value, then it is easy. When the question is between 40 to 60, you just have to add these two numbers, 5. And sometimes there are questions. How many prime numbers are there less than 50? How many prime numbers are there less than 50 people? $15. That's all. How many prime numbers are there from 0 to 100? How many prime numbers are there? Is it 26? Yes, 25. It's 25. So these are certain important facts which a lot of people suggest you should remember in this way. Let's say less than 100, there are 25 prime numbers. Less than 50, there are 15 prime numbers. But I would suggest remember this way. DD, BBC, BA. If you are able to understand this mnemonics, okay, if you are able to remember these letters in the in sequence, then you can answer almost all questions from these types of questions. Are you able to understand what I'm saying? Clear, everyone? Have you guys noted it down? Very good, superb. How many factors are there for the number 12? Can you guys tell me how many factors are there for the number 12? Is it 5 factors or 6 factors? See, 1 is definitely a factor. You should definitely include that. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, yes. 6 and 12. It should be considered 2. 1 should also be considered. Definitely yes. There are 6 factors for this number. But what if the question is like this? How many factors are there for the number 60? Am I supposed to write down all the factors and then count the number of factors? Is that what they asked me to do? No, that's definitely going to take a lot of time. But remember, we do have a method. Clear, people? So let's first understand how to solve these particular questions. See, if it's for a smaller number, we can tackle this. We can use this logic. But time is of the essence. We cannot use this method for bigger numbers. What am I supposed to do then? First, you're supposed to prime factorize the given number. What do you mean by prime factorization? So we do this L division. If you guys remember, so 12 can be written as 2 square into 3 power 1. Correct? Okay, Shani, we'll discuss that. Definitely, yes. So 2 square into 3 power 1. Now, all you're supposed to do is take the power value and then add 1 to it. So 2 plus 1 is 3. 1 plus 1, it is 2. So 3 2s are 6. So there are 6 factors. Clear, people? So this is how we do it. I guess clear how we did that? Clear, everyone? Yeah, just by adding 1 for all. You should just add 1. First prime factorize them, but make sure you have written them in prime numbers. See, 12, I can also write this as 4 into 3 power 1, 4 power 1 into 3 power 1. But did I write them in the prime, in terms of prime numbers? 4 is not a prime number. So this is not the right way of doing it. You should write them in terms of prime numbers. And then take their powers, add 1, multiply them. That's the number of factors. That's the shortcut to find the number of factors. Clear, people? Now, use the same method to find out the number of factors for 60. Very good, Chandramouli, superb. Very good, Ashwant. So listen, people. What did I tell you? First, you're supposed to prime factorize them. 60, if I prime factorize it, I can write that as 2 square into 3 power 1 into 5 power 1. Add 1 to the powers and multiply them. So 2 plus 1 gives me 3. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. So 3 2s are 6. 6 2s are 12. So totally there are 12 factors. Clear, people? Very good. Superb then. Now here's my next question. What is the sum of all the factors of 12? What is the sum of all the factors of 12? Come on, people. So far, I've got only one answer. Very good, Chandramouli, Shiny. Guys, listen. We know these are the numbers. These are the factors of 12. Correct. So when you add them, what do you get? See, here you've got 10 plus 12, 22 plus 5, 27 plus 1, 28. So sum of all the factors is 28. But if the same question was asked for a different number like 60, sum of all the factors for 60, so this method is not going to work out because I cannot write down all the factors because I have just found out the number 60 has 12 factors for it. Then how am I supposed to tackle questions like these? So listen carefully. Again, the trick is in your prime factorization. Now the number 12 can be written as 2 square into 3 power 1. So that's what we have done because 2 square is 4. Into 3 you get 12. In order to find out the sum of factors, listen carefully. Sum of factors, what are we supposed to do? 2 power 0 plus 2 power 1 plus 2 square. So you should write till 2 square because it's 2 square here into 3 power 0 plus 3 power 1 because it's still 3 power 1 here. So add them. 2 power 0 is 1, 2 power 1 is 2, 2 square is 4, and then 3 power 0 is 1, 3 power 1 is 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 4s are 28. You've got the answer. Clear with this trick, people? Clear with this trick? Come on, guys, reply. Very good. Fine then. Now, I want you guys to use the same trick and tell me what is the value of, what is the answer for this question then? Very good, Chandramouli, superb. Very good, Ashwant. Okay, people. So listen here. What did I tell you? The number 60 can be prime factorized as 2 square into 3 power 1 into 5 power 1. And then, according to this method, you should write the values till 2 square. So 2 power 0 plus 2 power 1 plus 2 square. And then 3 power 0 plus 3 power 1. Same way, 5 power 0 plus 5 power 1. So put together, you've got 7 into 4 into 6. So 28 into 6. So you've got 28 into 6. So if you have to do your mental math, you can calculate this as 28 into 5 plus 28 into 1, because 28 into 5 is easy. It is 140. 28 into 1 is 28. So it's 168. Hope you guys are clear. Very good. Superb. Okay, people. Now moving on. Let's say, for example, you have a question like this. How am I supposed to tackle a question like this? See, it goes till infinity. Square root of 12 plus square root of 12 plus square root of 12. It goes on like this. I'm supposed to find out the value of this one. How do I do that? Let me tell you the actual method to solve this question, and then I'll give you guys a small trick here. See, the actual method to solve this question is, you can assume the value as x. The final answer is x. Now squaring on both sides. See, if the entire value is x, this value is x again, right? Because it's again square root of 12 plus square root of 12 plus square root of 12 goes on till infinity. I can also rewrite this as x. So if I rearrange this one, I can write this as square root of 12 plus x is equal to x. Squaring on both sides. So 12 plus x is equal to x square. So you get a quadratic equation. You can solve that equation and then tell me the answer for this one. That's one way of solving this question. But remember, time is of the essence. Time is of the essence. That's the actual way though. This is your actual method. But I'm going to give you guys a small trick here. What is the trick? Listen carefully. Write this 12 as a product of two numbers which are co-primes. Do you guys know co-primes? What is a co-prime number? What are co-prime numbers? Yeah, I'm going to give you a small trick, buddy. That's what I'm telling you. Do you guys know the concept of co-primes? Yes or no? Come on, guys, tell me fast. Do you guys know the concept of co-primes? No. Okay, no problem. Listen carefully. Let's say, for example, if you were to take, very good, okay, 24. I can write this 24 as 6 into 4, or else 12 into 2. I can also write this as 8 into 3. There are different ways in which I can write this number. But out of this, which one is co-primes? Co-primes are the numbers where the HCF of those two numbers, HCF is 1. When two numbers have the HCF as 1, then those two numbers are called as co-prime numbers. When you take 6 and 4, is 1 the highest common factor? You also have 2 as a common factor. So these two are not co-primes. For these two numbers, is 1 the highest common factor? No, they have also got 2 as a common factor, which is more than 1. So these are not co-primes. For 8 and 3, the HCF is definitely 1. So 8 and 3 are co-primes. Same way, 12 can be written as 6 into 2, and it can also be written as 4 into 3. But out of these two, which one is a co-primes set? Which pair of numbers is co-primes? Can you guys tell me which pair of numbers is co-primes? Very good. Superb, Chandramouli Udaya. So it's definitely 4 and 3. Clear? Yes, superb. Take the given number, write that as a product of two numbers which are co-primes. The given number is in terms of infinite addition, plus, 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 it goes on like this. If it's infinite addition, the greater number is your answer. So my answer would be 4. That's all. If it was minus, my answer would have been 3. As simple as that. Clear, everyone? Yeah, just like that. For an infinite addition, but understand it should be till infinity. Now, I want you guys to tell me the answer for this one. It is infinite subtraction. Sir, what if it is not infinity? We'll see that. We'll also discuss that question. Don't worry. I've brought in those questions too. Don't worry. Now, first try this question. Square root of 56 minus square root of 56 minus square root of 56. Superb, Udaya. What about others? What did I tell you? First, write 56 as a product of two numbers which are co-primes. How can I do that? First, write 56 as a product of two numbers which are co-primes. Tell me what are those numbers? The product should be 56, but those should be co-primes. Come on, people. How can I write 56 as a product of two numbers such that those are co-primes? Very good, Chinese. Superb. Yes, it is 7 into 8. Correct, people. 7 into 8. But out of these two, which one am I supposed to take as the answer here? It's infinite subtraction. So what should be my answer? Guys, what did I tell you? For the previous question, it was addition. So if it was addition, bigger number. If it was subtraction, smaller number. Don't ever confuse in that one. So here it is subtraction. Addition, bigger number. Subtraction, smaller number. So my answer is 7. Clear, people? Superb. Now, what about this question? You don't have addition or subtraction. It goes till infinity, but it's the product. Square root of 6 into square root of 6 into square root of 6. It goes on like that. What am I supposed to do now? What should be the answer? Questions like these are the easiest. Think carefully and tell me. Very good, Udaya. Super. So guys, listen, if you take the value as x, this value is x, I can rewrite this one as square root of 6 into x, because this is again going to be the same thing. Square root of 6, square root of 6, square root of 6 into square root of 6. It goes on like this. Square root of 6x is equal to x. Squaring on both sides, you get 6x is equal to x square. So x is equal to 6. That's all. So when you have products of the same numbers till infinity, the number is your answer. Clear, everyone? But what if it doesn't go till infinity? What if it doesn't go till infinity? Let's say, for example, you have a question like this. Square root of 3 to square root of 3 into square root of 3 into square root of 3. It goes on like this. In that case, use this formula. Okay. 2 power n. What is n? The number of times it's being repeated. It's repeated 4 times. So n value is 4. So my answer is 3. The given number is my x. N is the number of times it's being repeated. What is 2 power 4, guys? What is 2 power 4? 16. So 16 minus 1, it is 15. So my answer is 3 power 15 by 16. That's all. But provided you should remember this formula. Hope you guys are clear. Superb. And now, listen, people. We'll move on to the next type of question from your modern math. I've brought in a question from your probability questions using your dices. Let's say, for example, here the question says 2 dices are rolled simultaneously. What is the probability that the sum of those two numbers so formed is 5? Always remember, when you're talking about probability, how do you find out probability? What is the formula? What is the formula for your probability, people? Very good, Bani, superb. Favorable by total outcomes. So favorable outcomes by total outcomes. And if you guys remember, if we are talking about 2 dices, right from our school days also, we would have done this sample space. We would have written the sample space if you guys remember. So 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3 goes on like this. So we write till 6, 6. So totally, what is the total number of outcomes here? When you're talking about 2 dices, what is the total outcomes? 36. Very good. If you're talking about 3 dices, the total outcomes would be 6 cube, 216. Clear, people? Done. Yes, 216. The same thing applies for your tosses, coin toss. If you toss a coin once, what is the total number of outcomes? 2 outcomes. If you toss a coin twice, how many outcomes are there? If you toss a coin twice, how many outcomes? Super, buddy. Very good, Chandramouli. It is in powers of 2. So 3 coins, how many outcomes? Very good. Super. I expected a few of you guys to make mistakes, but very good. Most of you guys have got it right. So it would be 2 cube. So it would be 8 outcomes. So same way, let's get back to this question. So here the question says, out of these 36 outcomes, in how many outcomes, when I add those two numbers, I get 5. So this is one such possibility. 1 and 4 gives me 5. What are the other stuffs? Let's say 1 and 4 gives me 5. What are the other stuffs? 1 4, so 4 1 also. 1 4 4 1. And then what else? Yes. What are the other possibilities? Very good, Ashwant. 2 3 and then 3 2. Correct. So altogether, how many possibilities are there? 4. So it's 4 upon 36. So my answer is 1 upon 9. Clear? But you should remember one thing here. We cannot write all these possible outcomes. Here the sum was 5. What if the question is for the sum to be 11 or for the sum to be 7 or 8? I cannot start writing all the possibilities and then finding out the answer. That would definitely take a lot of time. Then what am I supposed to do in cases like that? So this is where you should remember. You should remember this triangle. For the sum to be 2, there is only one possibility. What is that possibility? 1, 1. For the sum to be 3, there are 2 possibilities. What are those 2 possibilities? So 1, 2 and then 2, 1. Don't worry, buddy. You'll not have questions like that. We'll discuss. There are few cases where you have bit complicated questions also, but I'm just figuring out, letting you guys know the basics of it. Clear? Done. Same way. If you talk about the sum to be 4, there are 3 possibilities. What are those 3 possibilities? 1 3, 3 1, and also 2 2. So these are the 3 possibilities. So you should remember these values. So once you remember this triangle, the question says the sum should be 5. For the sum to be 5, there are 4 possibilities. So 4 out of 36 is your answer. So I can definitely say my answer is 1 by 9. That's all. Clear, everyone? And what if the question is, what is the probability that the sum is a multiple of 5? The sum is not 5, the sum is a multiple of 5. The sum is a multiple of 5. What is the probability that the sum so formed is a multiple of 5? You can still answer that question with the same table. How do I do that? That's all. Very good. Very good, Shiny. 5 and 10. These are the only multiples of 5s here. So add 4 and 3. So 7 out of 36. That's all. You've got the answer. Clear, everyone? Superb. Fine then. And now, enough. Fine, guys. Superb then. Now I'm going to give you guys the 5 tips which I would give it to all my students. So I'm going to give those 5 tips. But remember one thing. These 5 tips, if you follow them correctly, you can definitely be able to crack this particular cat. But you're supposed to be very, very careful here. Remember these 5 tricks. The first tip is analyze the weightage of each topic. Okay, when you take QA, say for example, we have brought it down to 5 sections. Okay, go topic wise, understand what is the weightage of each and every topic, and based on that, give importance to that. Okay, so understanding and analyzing the weightage of each topic is the first step. Clear, people? Done. Okay, sir, I've understood. Let's say, for example, I know time and work, time, speed, distance, how important it is, and all that stuff. So I've broken it down topic wise. Now, what am I supposed to do then? Clear your concepts. Learn the basic formulae. Okay. Basics are important. Your basics are like foundations of a building. Your basics are important. Your formulas are important. Your concepts are important. Get to know them first. Get to know them first. That's the first step you do. Let's say, for example, if you go for time and work concepts, understand what are the different types of questions that can be asked from your time and work. There are questions based on different efficiencies, same efficiencies, man-days concepts, pipes and systems, or wages distribution. There are different types of questions that can be asked from that. Now get to know what are the different types of questions from it. How do I solve that question? Get to know the complete concept of it. So that's the second tip. Be strong in your basics. Next, the third thing is develop your mental math skills. And when I say mental math skills, I mean your calculation part, be it your strategy part. Okay, so practice a lot of shortcuts. So far, we have seen hardly, I've given you guys hardly 4 to 5 tricks. Okay, given the time constraints, I was not able to give you guys enough tricks. Sorry, yes. But develop your mental math, because your mental math is definitely going to be a huge factor. It is going to be a huge factor here. So make sure you guys spend ample amount of time for your mental math skills, because if you're targeting CAT 2022, you've got definitely 1 year ahead. You've got 1 year in hand. The way you use your 1 year here is going to decide your future. Just think of one thing. Let's say aim for I am the path. If you're aiming for I am A, B, C, or the top B schools, your preparation starts now. So this is the right time to do it. Because see, what I would suggest is, because there are a lot of cases where people ask me, sir, there is only 1 month for my CAT preparation. What do I do now? See, definitely I can give them the suggestion, but is that what I would recommend? Definitely no. There are certain concepts which needs a lot of time for you guys to understand what this particular concept is all about. Say, for example, permutation combination. If you guys are not familiar with the topic, there are cases where you might get confused, but I wouldn't tell that as the difficult topic. Permutation combination is one of the most beautiful topics that you guys can get. But I was able to see a lot of people get confused there. The reason is they end up rushing at the end of the day. That is the problem. Make sure you guys plan accordingly. Let's say if you're targeting 2022, so you have got ample 1 year time. Okay, so get to know all the basic concepts of each and every topic here, know their section wise weightage, and based on that, get to know the basic formulas as and when they are required. Based on that, plan accordingly. And at the same time, develop your mental math skills, be it your calculation part, be it your concepts part. Okay, so develop all those shortcut strategies. Those are very, very important. And the next thing I would suggest is attempt and analyze your mocks. See, guys, and this is one such uh, answer that I have got from a student when I asked him to take up a mock test. Okay, I asked the student to take up a mock test, and he's like, "Sir, I did not cover all the concepts of my CAT syllabus, so I'll complete the concepts of my CAT syllabus and then I'll take up mocks." No, please don't do that mistake. Because if you have that mindset, sir, I'll complete the concepts of all my syllabus and then I'll take it the mock. That's the stupidest thing that I've ever heard. Listen carefully when I tell you guys this. See, I've seen a lot of students. What I would suggest is take up the mock right from the day you prepare. In fact, what I would suggest is take up the mock and then start your preparation, and then you'll understand what you're up against. And that's when you analyze, okay, so this is how the questions are going to be, and this is what I'm supposed to be ready for. And then you'll have an understanding as to what is the level at which you stand. And that will give you a very big boost, which is actually required for your preparation. So attempt your mocks, analyze your mocks. The next step, again, what people generally tend to do is, okay, sir, you told me I'll attend the mocks. Yes, I did it. But attending the mock is half of the well. The remaining half is analyzing what is the right and wrong things that you have done there. What was the problem that you faced? Was it the calculation? Was it the timing? Or was it that you were not able to understand the question at all? Or was it that you got confused and you got the answers wrong? So there are different ways, different things. You are supposed to analyze everything. Clear, people? So this is the fourth tip. Start your mocks right from the day one. That's what I would suggest. At least give one mock a month if it was your starting preparation month. So let's say, for example, if you're preparing for your CAT 2022, you've got ample 1 year. So give one mock per month to begin with. And down the line, as in when, let's say, for example, as in when we are nearing the exam, we'll gradually increase the number of mocks. Clear, people? But understand, your mocks are very, very important. And the next thing is, always be confident and always stay self motivated, because a lot of people, what I've seen is, once they start taking up the mocks and they see, sir, my score is not as much as I expected it to be. So I don't know what I'm going to do. See, it will definitely not be the way you expected it to be, because the preparation is lagging. So don't ever lose your confidence. Let's say, for example, you get only 50%, 60% in your mocks. No problem. Don't worry. You have time. So make sure you guys are confident. Okay, because this is something that has to come within, from within. Okay, there is nothing that I can do, there is nothing your friends can do, there is nothing your teachers can do. That is something that has to come within. Okay, so always stay confident, stay motivated, make sure you guys stick to the plan. So if you stick to the plan, everything is going to work as planned. Okay, people, fine then. And then, talking about the CAT 2022 weekend classes that we offer, I'll just give you guys a brief about the course. So this is ideal for the first time CAT takers. So what do we give them? You'll have 90 plus live online sessions. You've got CAT and non-CAT mocks also, and you'll have 7,500 questions from various difficulty levels and 8 full-length mock tests. And you've got test series, test gems included, sectional test, concept, topics test, everything would be there. Physical study materials will be given, and CAT percentile predictor, the PDP, everything, webinars, and you've got your access to your aspiration accounts, which is the user interface that we give to our students, wherein they can have different access to your vocabulary building, grammar building, your webinars, classes, everything will be done through your aspirations. We'll do that. So do we have any more classes? Yes, we'll have webinars also in the future. We'll definitely have future webinars. So stay tuned. We'll definitely let you know as and when we guys have webinars like these. So yeah. And what are the, and let me just give you guys a brief idea as to what are the other courses that we offer. We also offer bank classes, the bank training classes for your bank exams and for your SSC exams, or else bank and SSC combined. We have got classes for that. And we have also classes for your state government exams like your TNPSC. So these are the courses that we offer. Even if you guys are interested in that, you guys can let us know. And I'm gonna drop a message in the chat box where I want you guys to give your feedbacks about this particular session, or what is it that you expect from us in the future, so that we'll be able to serve you guys better. Students, I have dropped a message in the chat box. Please don't forget to, yeah. So please don't forget to go and submit your feedbacks. As and when you give your feedbacks, we'll get to know what is it that we can do better to serve you guys. Sir, is there any course related to cyber security? Nobody, we don't have any courses related to cyber security. I'm sorry. And if you guys have any doubts, you guys can ask me right now. And be it any doubts, feel free to ask me. If you have any queries, don't hesitate. Just ask me, guys. So when is the batch starting for CAT? We have planning to start a batch the coming Monday. We also have a batch in the later end of this month also. So we've got 2 batches, one in mid-September and one in the end of the September. Sure, Vanipriya. You're most welcome. Sir, I would love to know shortcuts more on profit and loss. And yes, obviously, see, there are lots and lots of tricks you can discuss on profit and loss. But unfortunately, as I told you, because of the time constraints, I was not able to cover all of these. So people who are joining our courses, you'll definitely have separate sessions for your doubt clarifications and your strategy planning. And in that, I'll definitely discuss about all these shortcuts and strategies for your individual concepts. So that will definitely do. Any other doubts? Any other doubts, people? Come on. Submit it. Superb. And others, just a reminder, don't forget to submit your feedbacks. Come on, people. I've opened the forum for your doubts. If you have any other doubts, ask me. Thanks, Yashwant. Thanks, Shyam. Superb, Shiny. Happy to help. Come on, people. Any other doubts? So these are our social media platforms to stay connected with us. Yes, Chandramoli, you can write your CAT exams before graduation, but see, if you are in your final years, you can do it. You can write your CAT 2021, but you should be able to complete your degree before the CAT schedule. That's the trick. But as far as CAT 2021 is concerned, even if you are in the final years, you can do it. So what are the other similar exams like CAT? See, there are non-CAT exams for other B schools like your ZAT, SNAP, MAT. Okay, for TN, we have also got TAN6. We have multiple exams like these. But as I've told you, CAT is one such exam which is considered as the mother of all exams. And if you're wondering as to why that is so, as I've told you, CAT is one such exam which is recognized by multiple B schools. Okay, one of the most commonly accepted exam is CAT. But let's say, for example, when you take ZAT, okay, that's again accepted in a lot of colleges, but not as predominantly as the ones that you get to see in CAT. And one more thing that I would say is, if you're preparing for your CAT, the level of preparation and the amount of work that you put in for your CAT, okay, that is enough for you guys to tackle different other exams also. But I don't mean to tell you if you prepare for CAT, you can also clear other exams. No, that's not what I mean. But once you prepare for CAT, okay, you will have a better understanding about how to prepare for other exams also. BTech and management has a good scope. See, let me just put it crystal clear for you. Be it any IIM, okay, be it any IIM, not just IIM, be any B school. Okay, when you take, let's say, for example, there are 100 people who are doing MBA. Out of that, 70 will be from BTech. Okay, it has become a new trend. So don't worry, then don't ever worry about it. So see, at the end of the day, it's all about the package. It's definitely got a good scope. So where can I find recordings of this session? This will actually be recorded and it will be uploaded in the YouTube. So we'll, if possible, we'll also send you guys the YouTube link for this session, so you can get make use of that. Sir, is this okay? Is this preparation can help other exams like ICBR? See, when it comes to your ICBR exams, see, when it comes to any exam, for that matter, when you take quantitative aptitude, you have also got questions. You definitely have questions from all these 5 concepts. Okay, some topics can be added extra or to be less, but at the end of the day, it's all about quantitative aptitude. Okay, will this help? Yes, it will help. But Is this alone enough for your exams like your ICBR? Because see, the pattern is different, the level of questions differ, but the topics are going to be the same. The topics are going to be the same. Let's say, for example, if you take your time and work concept, the level of questions that you get to see in CAT, or when you compare it with any other exam, it might differ, but the topic is again the same. Okay, is this preparation enough? No. But are you going to learn something new? No. It's going to be the same topics, but in a different pattern. You're supposed to change your strategies a bit for those exams. That's how it works. So can logical questions be asked? Yes, that's what I told you. That's a separate section. We have got LRDI. I showed you guys the LRDI, logical reasoning and data interpretation. That's a separate section. You've got 3 sections in CAT. One is your verbal ability, VARC. Okay, I'll show it to you guys once again. 1 second. See, we have got 3 sections: VARC, verbal ability, and your reading comprehension. And the second one is your DILR. That stands for your data interpretation and logical reasoning. And the third one is your QA, quantitative aptitude. So where are your branches, sir? We have got branches pan India, but I am actually talking to you guys from the Coimbatore center. So we have branches pan India, and we are conducting online classes from here. Any other doubts, people? Come on, students. Sir, when will the new batch? Sir, as I've told you, we are planning a new batch coming 13th, and we have also got one more batch at the end of this month. So those are weekend batches. The classes happens on Saturdays and Sundays, every Saturday and Sunday. Yes, Chandramouli. Yes, definitely you can. Guys, again, a small reminder. Hope you guys have given me your feedbacks. So will any email be sent regarding the starting of the classes and batches? Actually, I'll let my team contact you guys every single one personally, so we can discuss about that. If you have any other doubts regarding the batches starting, also you can ask them. And as far as email is concerned, yes, we will definitely send you guys an email. Sure. Yeah, Ashwant, yeah, and then when the team contacts you, you can talk to them regarding the fee structure. When the team contacts you, you can talk to them about the fee structure, buddy. Yeah, sure. Come on, guys. Any other doubts? As I said, Chandramouli, happy to help. No doubts. Okay, guys, fine then. We'll end the session with this one. and hope to see you guys in the classes very soon. All the best as of then. Bye everyone. All the best.